He's done it again. The GOAT, Messi-gician. He has done it again. Yes, I know I'm a few days late, but I just had to put out this quick reaction to Messi. He's done it again. I say he's done it again. He's never scored a hat-trick at a World Cup, but he has nah. He has nah. Come on, honestly, sick. I mean, what? Now he's equaled Miroslav's closest record for top goal scorer in the history of the World Cup. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person to think that football died a little bit when Klose overtook Ronaldo. But hopefully Messi will break it before the end of the tournament. Hopefully we get a few days of Messi at least keeping it before Mbappe catches up and breaking it. But yeah, just so happy for Messi. And also, I think a lot of people have kind of missed the context of what's going on with Messi, where, because you saw him crying after the first goal, you saw him be a bit emotional with Scaloni as well, the manager, when he came off. Messi's also come out and said that he's had personal issues the last few days and that the squad has really rallied behind him, which again just shows you that unity that Argentina have, which is just so important, which has been such a foundational part of all their success. There's a report saying that apparently his dad's ill, which, you know, God forbid, hopefully he recovers, but apparently that's what the situation is. But it's just rumours. But I mean, it says a lot about Messi, you know, all that's going on in his personal life, if that's true, and he still performs. So, and the thing of Messi, it's not just goals, like it's the performance, it's the link play, it's the combination play, it's the receiving the ball in tight areas, it's the weight of pass, it's the decision making. Hell, it's even defending. I mean, Messi, the first few minutes, I mean, the first few touches, he was just he was running back and tracking back and tackling. So he looks really fired up, which he always was going to be. I mean, Messi's just an ultimate competitor. If you know anything about Messi, you know all the stories about him being super competitive in training and taking it super seriously. You know, all the greats had that Michael Jordan, you know, it became personal with me. They all have that, you know. Obviously Cristiano has it as well, which we'll get onto Cristiano very soon, but I wanted to give Messi his flowers first. But I thought DePaul as well really stood out. I mean, DePaul's always been a very big part of the national team. Last World Cup, I thought he started quite slow, but I think towards the end he kind of got it together. I remember when they won the first Copa America in 2021, he was exceptional, especially in that final. For me, he was man of the match. So he's a big part. McAllister as well looked, I wouldn't say he was amazing, but he looked a lot better than what we've been saying for Liverpool. Enzo played his part. Lautaro made a few good runs. Probably, he had his moments where he was combining with Messi. I always think it's interesting about Argentina, where they got obviously him and Alvarez, and they're obviously such different profiles. Lautaro is more of a runner. You know, he's more aggressive. He's more like he's running behind. He wants to pin defenders. He's just more chaotic in that sense. Where I think Alvarez is a bit more smoother. He's a bit more refined. Like he's probably the cleaner finisher, the better receiving the ball in pocket. So we'll see what goes on as the tournament goes on. Lautaro played his part in the last Copa America, and obviously Alvarez did in the last World Cup. So we'll see what Scaloni does. I mean, I trust if there's anyone that's earned the right to be trusted, it's Scaloni. I mean, 3 tournaments, 3 victories. You know, literally, he's managed Argentina. What? Actually, no. Let me start that again. So he's managed 4 tournaments and he's won 3 of them. So the first Copa America they lost to Brazil in a semi, but then they won 2021. Then they won the Copa America, and then they won 2022 World Cup, and obviously they won the last Copa America too. So yeah, Scaloni, man. Whew. But Messi just looks a lot sharper defensively even. I don't know if it's the fact that he's been playing in Argentina, so he's not got that wear and tear of an intense European season behind him, or the fact that the last few weeks he's not been playing, he's been resting. So I don't know if it's that, but he just looks brilliant and looks sharp, looked full of life. And yeah, I'm excited to see. Speaking of full of life, someone that definitely didn't was Cristiano. Now, I've got a bit of a hot take about this. I think people are I think in life when people react to something late, they tend to overreact. The truth of the matter is Ronaldo's been like this for a long time now. I mean, I would go as far as to say from 2014. Don't get me wrong, in 2014 he was a bad athlete, but I'm talking about the profile of player he became since then, where he doesn't link, he doesn't hold up the ball, he doesn't press, he doesn't, I mean, to be fair, Ronaldo's never pressed or tracked back, even back to his original Man United days, so he can't occupy defenders. These are all the same attributes that Ronaldo had in 2014, so I just think the main difference is the fact that he's a bit slower, naturally just through age, and he's just not got that caliber of player around him that he had when he was at Real Madrid. But I think people this is not news. People have been hung up with Ronaldo by his stats, and a lot of people, they look at their stats, not the performances. But this is not news. Ronaldo's been playing like this, where if he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything. Probably his finishing has declined a little bit. I always think if you're someone that scores so many goals and you're a great athlete, once you slow down, it does become a little bit harder for you, and which I think something's not really spoken about much, because you don't get that time anymore. When you're that quick, you have time to take a touch, to bring the ball down, assess the situation, and then shoot. You've got that time because you're so quick. Fernando Torres is a great example of that, or Michael Owen. Being that quick, it buys you time. When you fake a run to the far post and then you run to the near post, and now you've created that daylight from that defender that was marking you because you're so quick. Now, once you lost that pace, you're not getting that daylight anymore. You're not getting that separation. Now you're getting to the ball, but defender straight on you, rather than before where you've got some space. So I think it's more the speed. It's probably the big difference really from Ronaldo now and 10 years ago individually, and obviously the environment around him. But I just think Portugal need to be better. I think, their midfield, all the quality they have, they look disjointed, if I'm honest. I don't really... having Vitinha, Neves, and Bruno obviously very talented, but do they all really work in the way you'd want? Are they really a cohesive balance? I don't really see it. I think that's the thing that separates them from Argentina's midfield, where Argentina probably don't have the midfield star quality in terms of on paper, but the synergy is there, the combination is there. They know, okay, when they should drop into the first phase, who should drop, who should push up, who should go a bit out wide. And obviously they're still very, very talented. That's why for me, I think people say they have the best midfield, Portugal, but Argentina for me are clear. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Spain, for example, missed that real cutting edge. We saw that the last few years if Yamal's not there. Yamal and Nico, there's no real cutting edge. They need that. They need that jollof rice, man. They need that spice on top of the tapas, So England, I actually fell asleep during the second half of the England game, but I still managed to catch up all the goals. Like, I remember, I was still happy to be awake during the goals. First off, I didn't think England were that necessarily that impressive, but they got a result. And I always think first game of the season, first game of the tournament, it's kind of what you need to do. But, oh my God, Mbappe, I thought he was absolutely shocking that first half. Again, Mbappe, the same thing with Ronaldo, really, where as a striker, he's not got any number 9 qualities, apart from the fact he scores. So for some people, that's all you need. But link play, hold up play, back to goal, occupying centre halves. Mbappe doesn't have these attributes. That's why he reminds me of Ronaldo in that sense. Obviously, the thing with Mbappe is once he drifts off in those channels and he's isolated against the defender, he's so dangerous, right, with the speed. But again, he's another one. I think he's going to age really badly once he starts hitting those. Once he gets into the 30s, where once he loses that pace, and he's probably a tiny, not by much, but probably a bit slower now. Just he's had a few injuries. He's also got a bit more mass, got a bit more muscle, but obviously still lightning quick, still quicker than everyone else. But again, I think people are really kind of overlooking how much of a bit miss Giroud is, because he was a real focal point. Griezmann as well, playing those pockets, kind of knitting everything together. I think him and Giroud did that. They were very, very underrated. For me personally, Griezmann was France's best player when they won the tournament. So I think people are missing that. I think Mbappe's limitations will be exposed during that, because, okay, it's all good and well against Senegal. You did it. Senegal are a quality team. But on another day, Senegal could have beaten them. How many chances did Mbappe miss? So I think there's problems there down the line. Spain as well. I don't really think anyone looks really settled apart from Argentina in terms of the heavy hitters. But it'll be interesting. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Vamos Argentina. Vamos Messi. We'll be there for the ride. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Salud.